All right. So we're on.
We'll come up with a goddamn name, and we'll come up with a...
It's not.
I think
It's not the Four Horsemen. Because
Welcome to the Four Horsemen.
Not the name because
All right,
we are
there.
all married men.
Yeah,
There's
we
only
are.
3 of us. There's a lot of problems with that name, and I feel like that's too generic of a name.
Yeah, that's why I like the
Also-
Killer Threes.
The Killer 3 is a little inside. I don't know why that's a little inside compared to other names of the possibilities. I'm okay with I don't know, a more off the wall kind of a name. More, but like I said,
You want to
like I
go
said,
with Off the Wall? That's the name. Off the Wall.
I think no, that's more of a.
Hi, I'm Grant. By the way, I'm Grant.
Oh, are we doing? Oh, we're go.
Are we doing real names?
Hold on,
Like,
go.
wait.
My name's not Grant.
Yeah.
You're the guy in the center. I feel like you should actually start us
Yeah, you.
All right,
yeah.
so
in
let's-
some way. So,
So this is not Grant, and
Not
that's,
Grant.
and that's not Julian.
all right,
And I'm sure as shit not Greg.
right.
All right. Now that you got that out the way, we're going to sit here and talk about the shit we always talk about, and that's some wrestling.
And I'm gonna get this out of the way too.
Mhm.
I feel like that this is gonna turn into. I'm just gonna make Julian try to convince me on why I need to start watching wrestling again.
Oh, we the Threebirds.
I
The
once
Threebirds?
said- I once
We're
said
the Threebirds.
for
Yeah.
6
The
episodes.
The fabulous Threebirds.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's look it up.
Look it up.
The fabulous Threebirds. That actually,
That's not bad.
shit.
Yeah, that's all right.
Fuck, that came out of nowhere, like
All right.
just off the text.
We're gonna.
Nope.
It's gonna be cool. So
That
instead
is
of
what we are right now.
We are
All
the
right, sweet.
fabulous
As of
Threebirds.
right now,
fabulous
we're the
three
fabulous
birds.
Threebirds.
Heck yeah! So Confederate flag shirt
No,
on its way,
no,
guys.
no.
Ready? All right.
All right.
Do you want to do an actual introduction?
Yeah, welcome to the fabulous Threebirds.
I'm not Grant.
And I'm not Greg.
And I am not Julian.
Are you sure?
No.
Welcome back. We are the fabulous Threebirds. I'm not Greg.
I am not Grant.
I can't believe we're doing this. We're back. Where have you been? Where have you been? Where's everyone been?
I guess he's not Julian.
I'm
he's
not Julian.
He didn't even say his name.
So yeah, we're back. I mean, I know you guys have been like, what happened to these guys? Did they fall off the map? I mean, it's funny. We've been gone about a month because life and we have jobs. So, I mean, we're not rubbing that into people who don't have jobs. We're just saying that's been taking up our fucking time. But
Plane rides
yeah,
and working has been taking up all the time.
literally. So, it's funny that we've been gone a month and we've gotten more followers on Instagram than
Oh, there we
before we
go.
left. Like every other day, there's a new follower on Instagram, and I'm like, wait, did we do a show that I missed?
Did Julian? Oh, has he gone rogue?
Yeah,
Listen,
did you do a pirate show?
I recorded one by myself, but then I stopped it and I deleted it. It reminded me of when Prince made an album on MDMA. Apparently, he was on ecstasy, and he just recorded it in maybe 1 or 2 days, and he was about to release it, and then he said no, because
That
it was
would've been
made by the. It's the long lost ecstasy album. It's still yet to be released.
Were you going to say it was made by the devil? Like, who are you?
That's what he said, because he went all Jehovah's Witness,
Oh,
and he
Lord.
said that it was made by the devil, like the devil influenced him while he was on this stuff. And I kind of feel that way about the solo podcast that I did, because I'd spewed nothing but hate. But
Wow. Can you
It's-
imagine the?
I just
Prince
thought it
album?
was a
Hear this
little.
at some point.
I thought it was too negative. I thought it was just maybe I had a Buddhist moment, but I got rid of the thing.
You know what it was? He came to
Yeah.
reality about AEW, and then
No.
he went,
Well, we're
"No, I
all
can't do
dealing
this."
with-
Finally figured out. He was like, I work with a bunch of children that can't manage a target. When I'm talking about you and I.
yeah, it was something like that. But I was doing voices. I was doing voices for both of you also. That was a thing. That's where I think the devil really came in, because
Oh my
Get in a
god!
fight with us like you do here.
it was and then I just kind of look back at it and I'm like, was this some sort of performance art? Is this art? And I just got confused. And Anyhow, I'm glad that we're back.
Yeah, I'm glad we're back too. So folks,
There's-
we're gonna try to like give you content, but it might not be every week. Now, if you look at our podcast on Apple and on Spotify, it does say every 2 weeks. So we've been doing great. Technically, if you count all the shows we've done, we're ahead right now. So
Well,
I mean-
well, that's one way of doing it, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
That's one way of saying it.
yeah,
you know?
we were only scheduled to do 26 shows a year. So I mean, we are ahead. But no, it's a lot's going on in wrestling in this month, and good for us that we actually been off, because there was a 2-week period of wrestling all across the board where I was just like, you know what, guys, just pack it up, go home.
Are you talking about both sides?
Both sides. It's just
Okay.
done. It's done. Like Raw is unwatchable. It's I can't watch it, and it hurts my heart. You know, I feel like those Southern Confederates that literally remember when the Colonel's chicken and the original recipe was the original recipe and not this stuff. That's how I felt watching Raw. I was like, those aren't the 11 herbs and spices. God damn it. Yeah, I really did.
Wow.
Yeah, I went there. Yeah.
I'll say that I tried watching SmackDown and last Friday, and it was a go home show for what I'm sure we'll talk about, War Games. Survivor
Just go
Series.
home.
It was like basically let's do one segment and then we'll play that back to you 3 times in a row. I mean, the way they format the show is it's like for people with head injuries. It's like, why do you need to just do it a little bit later? Like I remember they used to do it at the top of the hour to tell you what happened at the beginning of the hour or whatever, you know, and it's like, okay, that's several segments apart as opposed to something. It's like the skit from fucking Spaceballs where they're like, is now was then now, here it is now, oh, this is now, you know, like it was just, it's so crazy. And even my wife kind of noticed, and then she sees a clip again, same package during the pay-per-view, and she thought I was watching SmackDown again while I'm watching Survivor Series.
Wow.
Someone that just is, you know, looking out of the corner of their eye, you know? So it's like they got some formatting issues, I think, too. I think they both do.
Yeah, I can see that. It's almost to the degree of which they go, who do we got here? Like, who's actually here? Who's not sick? Who's not injured? Who's actually in the back right now? And they give them the list of names and they go, oh, we can't do a show with them. Run the package. And
dude, it does feel like filler, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like a complete show of filler. And then somebody like gets off the toilet. Go, I think my stomach's okay, guys. I think I can do it. And then they throw them out there, and then you have like a 5-minute match, and they're like, "Nope, my stomach's not good." Yeah. Run the package.
And then for some weird reason, I just feel like Cesaro is just gonna come out too at any second. Just like, I don't know why. It just feels like the same shit from the last 7 years is like going on. Oh, still. I mean, oh man.
Yeah,
but we'll get to War Games. We'll get to War Games.
Yeah, we'll
War
get to War
Games. You got to say it like that.
Hey, did you hear? Whoa. Did you hear Samantha?
Oh, I heard it.
I thought Samantha was literally gonna cough up a lung. Like, I mean, I'm not saying she's bad. I'm just saying, like, she was putting it all in there. I was like, holy smokes, somebody give her some tea or something. Like she gave it the old college try there. And it's like I said, it doesn't sound bad, but you could tell that she's really ramping it up for these pay-per-views and everything, which is good, So she's not phoning it in, but that her War Games, I was just like, wow. And truthfully, it beats Tony Schiavone. So like one of the best War Games, you know, everybody knows this, how I feel about it. One of the best War Games is like the one at the Great American Bash 88. And I kid you not, you had everybody from Dusty Rhodes to Ric Flair to Arn Anderson to the Road Warriors, blah, 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 blah. And
all bleeding, by the way.
Yeah, all bleeding. Oh, yeah. And by the time everybody was in and they were ready to announce it was War Games, you just hear Tony Schiavone go, and now it's War Games, the match beyond. That's what you do. With everything you've just seen. That's how you do it. Yeah, it's
Very
War
reserved.
Games. The match
Grant,
beyond.
Grant, are you, first of all, hi, Grant.
Hi.
Yeah, how's it going, Grant? Going good?
I mean, just great. It was good. It was good about 40 minutes ago.
Wow. Are you still in the shower, Grant?
No, I'm not in the shower anymore.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting.
What do you want? What's your question?
I just wanted to say hi.
Oh,
You know, it's been a while, you know. It's been a while.
yeah.
This is like what's it called? The Shield reunion. Like it
Where it's like kind of like too soon
it
to
no,
call it
it's
a reunion.
no, it's just been a while. And like everybody's like trying to catch up and they're like, no, get out there. And you're like, well, I was just asking him how he's been doing. Okay,
Yeah,
guess we gotta go to
basically.
work. Yeah.
Right.
And I'm
it's like
fine.
we got our
Fine.
got our chess pieces on, and you know, we're ready to blast through some things. I guess we could do really
Roman's in the back. This is not my jacket.
right.
Anybody see my jacket? No.
I mean, I guess
Roman.
we could use Full Gear. We could fucking brush stroke over Full Gear because the show wasn't all that great overall. And
can we talk about the Page match?
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
That's got some meat on the bone for, you know, it's got some extra meat on the bone.
Yeah.
And then you know, War Games. We did miss in our time off the Crown Jewel.
I didn't even watch it. I don't like the Saudi pay-per-views.
Yeah, which is that's a huge, you know what I mean? That's a can of worms as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even
then
like them
that's
doing it. I really don't. Like
yeah.
I don't.
Did you
like
know
them.
that they've already made more off of these Saudi shows or the contract for all of them or something? I believe it's to date, and there's still more to go. They've made more money off of these shows than every single WrestleMania combined.
Yeah, that's why
yeah.
they do them.
The economics are just astronomical, and it's just, you know, right now we're looking at the World Cup in Qatar, and there's all that baggage to go with that. The corruption, clearly the corruption, the paying for it to FIFA officials, the proving it, they proved it, and then we have an even more. There's no bribing or anything, and it's really, I kind of look at it like, you know, don't hate the government, don't hate the people, hate the government or whatever. But so if this is for the people of Saudi Arabia and they want to see some wrestling and whatever, then that's okay. But the money deal on it's really weird. And I mean, it's just incredible production costs on this thing. And it's like a WrestleMania every time they do one.
Yeah.
It feels like it.
But with way more overhead. It's like every time. It's crazy.
Yeah, I literally didn't see it. I tried to get the cliff notes about it, but I mean, for some reason, I just don't like the Saudi. Like every time they do a crown jewel, I'm like, oh god, okay, I can.
Yeah, and
Right.
it's hard to buy in because I know it goes back to what Julian just said. I know why they do everything, but like I'm not gonna sit there for a Logan Paul Roman match. I don't care.
Well, and that match was actually pretty good.
I
It's
know, and
weird.
Logan Paul's doing fine, but like we all know the outcome. Like there's no way that's gonna happen. So it's like, I don't know.
Pretty predictable. So
Yeah.
and then everybody kind of got out, but there was a women tag title change or whatever. So
and see, that's how you know they don't give a shit, because they did the women's tag title change at Crown Jewel. It used to be when they first started doing these and like forcing people to care about them doing these. It used to be you could change a title for something, for any reason, just for even just, a go home good feeling moment, and then you'll change it back on Raw.
Yep.
That type of stuff. Okay, like for me, if you were going to make Roman lose and you did it there, it doesn't do anything here. Like no one will technically count it. It's like the Lakers bubble title. It doesn't really exist. That's not a real championship. So, I get it if you use that pay-per-view for that, but they're actually using it, coming up with these storylines that are never going to go anywhere, like ever going to go anywhere. And you just go, what was other than the money part, what was the purpose of even creating that storyline? You got 100 people on the roster you could have just had matches with. Like seriously, all they care about is seeing older wrestlers anyway. You could have had John Cena and Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker go over there and go to their, Qatar Mall, and they would have been happy. The match part, so that's why I was just like, I'm not even going to watch it. I actually forgot that exists.
It was skippable. I think the opening match is probably the most interesting as far as what it was, and that was Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley again from the Royal Rumble, which I've been looking forward to since they had that match. I was like, I want to see that one again because what they're doing now is pretty cool. And then I think what was it? Lesnar. How did it go? Lesnar slicked Lashley, or Lashley beat Lesnar. I don't remember, but it's.
I thought Lashley lost.
Yeah, I think that it was like a roll up quick win from like a slick pin win.
Yeah.
For Lesnar.
And we're still in Cowboy Lesnar territory, which I still like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lesnar's in his
Yeah.
Lesnar's
he
in
did
his,
like a little pin.
He's in his taker phase with the biker taker. Like Lesnar just sat there and said, you know what? I'm a cowboy, which he is in real life. It's just the fact that he's just like, you know what? This is me now. I'm coming out with my hat.
Right.
I just like picturing him as a little kid coming into work, like, now I'm a cowboy. And they're like, Brock, and he's like, but I'm a cowboy.
Like, but I'm a cowboy. Wait. So Brock is literally in the back. I'm not going out unless I can wear my hat.
Yeah, so I can wear my hat. And it's a little bit warm. I don't like my sleeves.
And I want to take my sleeves off.
Right. I want to drive a tractor. Right.
That's the thing. They said
a tractor.
Okay, they said that, okay, Brock, you can be a cowboy. I want a tractor too.
He got one.
A tractor, Brock? I want a tractor. I won't go out unless I have a tractor. Can you imagine Paul Heyman going? Wait, can you imagine Paul Heyman going into at that time Vince's office going, okay, so Brock wants a tractor.
That sounds great.
Oh, I got an idea about the tractor. Okay, so in the month we've been gone, we've had a lot of SmackDowns, a lot of Raws, a lot of Dynamites, and a lot of Rampages, but nobody cares about Rampage. Here's the deal. Would you say right now, post CM Punk era of AEW, because the Bucks showed back up obviously for the pay-per-view,
and Omega,
and Omega, and they're off their suspension. Would you say Tony Khan can relax a little, or would you say it's about to get worse?
I would say that once they tweak the wrongs and the weird stuff they have right now, they can be watchable to the point of good. But it all depends on how they do this MJF title reign. Spoiler alert, he won. If he and Regal can be a thing, because it seems like the Blackpool Liver Society is no more, which is one less faction. It also looks like they got rid of finally got rid of the Dark Order, although it's a kind of weird way how they did it. But it looks like they might be cleaning house on some of the factions, which is one weird thing amongst others. But I also don't underestimate Tony Khan's ability to fuck things up. And Jericho has a sort of, I don't know, parasitical, he's like an old vampire now that's like feeding off the young.
I'm just saying, like, He's going to do what's
Something.
best for him, and then
Yeah.
and cloak it in a way of I'm doing what's best for business and helping and training all these young talent to do. And I haven't seen him really train young talent to do anything but to make sure they take care of themselves. Like
Mm.
everybody he's been with, to me, is worse off than where they were. And you can't say MJF was with him because that program with MJF didn't need to happen. So everybody, it's just, I don't know. Even Sammy, I don't know. Like, to me, I think Sammy could be so far better than where he is right now if he never ever did a program with Jericho. I mean, they got so much good talent and and all this young talent, and yet and still they're basically having the Bucks and Jericho write this stuff, and Tony's just soaking it up. Yeah, guys. Yeah. Pass the coke. So,
Right.
I don't know. I don't, you know, I don't know where they could go. Like, their biggest draw. Now, MJF can turn out to be their biggest draw. So let me not say that, but their biggest draw walked out the door. And 10 to 1, you're going to have to pay them. And, you know, what do you have? You didn't build up Hobbs. You did some weird shit with Samoa Joe. Wardlow.
He's TNT
gone.
champion right now. Yeah, Wardlow doesn't have that belt anymore, and who knows? It could be Wardlow and MJF, but is that too soon? Is that?
Well, I'm just saying they crushed Wardlow, so you have to like completely rebuild them. Like, you just you know, I don't know how long that's going to take. You know, the other folks, you're forcing people to have some form of care for the women's division when the women's division is the weakest thing about your company. And it's not because they're women. Before a bunch of people get in our Instagram feeds, you hate women. No.
But the girls Ghostbusters was good.
Yeah, it's like, no. Oh my God.
Not as good. Hey, the last one had a girl like in it. They had girls, but it was really good. The Afterlife, Afterlife was good.
The
girls one sucked.
Just wasn't good.
Yeah, it just was not a good movie. So, like, no, you just hate women, and then women can be Ghostbusters too. This is not where this is going. I'm telling you.
And actually, if you listen to this podcast, all we do is praise the women of WWE.
Yes. If you listen to this podcast, you know
some of us just smoke cigars.
Yeah. Well, I believe Charlotte Flair is the greatest wrestler ever. So, I'm saying you can't use this podcast to go, those guys hate women. Not this one. No. So it's just a weak division. I mean, you have Britt, you have Thunder Rosa when she shows up to work.
Oh.
You have
in front of Julian.
Yeah. That was on purpose. But you have Tony Storm, you have Hayter, you have who else? Before I get to who I think they need to get more reps. You have Jade, but other than that, what's your division? What's your women's division?
They have a dude in their women's division, a former dude.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, so you're putting all your eggs in that basket, and you're trying to shove a lackluster division down people's throats, and I think that's hurting them. That's killing views. Then CM Punk walks out the door. That's killing views. You try to paint the picture that CM Punk was this horrible, just succubus, and then he was just negative, but reality to it is most people who follow CM Punk already knew he was an asshole. So you can't make an asshole more of an asshole. Yet and still, you know, I don't know where AEW is going to go. And I'm not saying that it's the end of AEW or whatever. I just think without Punk and that draw and that money just sitting over there in the corner, or money making ability sitting over there in the corner, I think somebody's got to actually get a writing team, get actual creative, not just be the Bucks and him. I just think Tony needs
And the drugs.
and the drugs. Yeah. So
You're right.
if it's gonna be something, he's gonna have to like step up that part of the game. So I don't know. It is what
Yeah.
it is.
I think they're headed towards impact level irrelevance, and that they're gonna start hemorrhaging the good talent in the next couple of years, maybe, if they don't do some course correction and fix up some things, such as you mentioned. Well, the women's division, I think they do have a core. It's just, also, you didn't mention like Anna Jay and Ty Conti, who are like on the cusp of being okay. Like they got something. They both have something, and they add to it. But then Jade Cargill is like really bad in the ring, and she sort of looked okay in this last pay-per-view, but
Yeah, they just need to
yeah,
protect her like Goldberg. If they protected her, she wouldn't.
yeah,
She wouldn't. I mean, like it's not her
they
fault
kind
they
of
threw
are.
her on TV. No, they
Yeah,
kind of are, but they're not
yeah,
fully protecting her.
yeah.
They're
She
letting
really
her
isn't
do
having.
stuff.
Yeah, she's not having matches on Rampage every Friday anymore or anything like that, which is
Thank
part of why the
God.
show has less star power. But she always shows up and says "bitch" or something,
Or cut the shit. Like
or cut the
that's her
shit.
thing.
She
It's
just
like
kind of like curses and leaves. So I don't know. But so she is tough. But anyway, she came out looking like it was a Thundercat at the last pay-per-view. She was dressed like a Thundercat,
see, I
whatever
thought
that
she was
thunder.
She-Hulk.
No,
That was like
I think
two pay-per-views ago, I
That's
thought.
2 pay-per-views ago. Okay, so okay.
she was She-Hulk a couple pay-per-views back. Yeah, they should just sign the stunt woman for She-Hulk. Why haven't they done that? She's huge.
I mean, there's a lot of questions, Julian. I don't think that's one of them. Like, why
That's
haven't they
just
done
a
that?
that's you know what I mean. That's a 6'7" whatever thing woman, Viking woman. Amazing. Anyway, to gloss over Full Gear, the two highlights, because there are a lot of low lights, but the two highlights were Jamie Hayter and the Tony Storm. That's probably the best match on the card. Jamie Hayter winning their title. I don't know what's going on with Thunder Rosa. Now it just sounds like it's an unprofessional thing at this point. And
Yeah, she's not making herself look good.
she's taking other bookings. So this injury thing must be over. So this full story is not being revealed. I don't know.
I heard it, now because now it's what, months later. So let's
Yeah.
go ahead and just start the rumor mill now. Originally it was stated or speculated that she just didn't want to drop the belt,
Wow.
and this injury came up. And if that's true, not saying that that's true, if that's true, months later, this doesn't look good. If that was
Yeah.
the case, this does not look good.
That's weird. He could have definitely stripped her of the title by now and just done it like that. I don't know. See, this is where the booking is done by a bottle of Adderall, and
Right.
maybe it shouldn't be.
Right.
But they had match of the night at Full Gear. It was a good match. So Jamie Hayter is beloved, and I mean they can move on with this division with the way they're doing it. They
But
don't need Thunder Rosa
maybe you don't give them 40 minutes or 30 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever. Maybe you
every time. Yeah, no.
right. Yeah, maybe you give what you
Give
were
us
the hot match, and then make people clamor for more. And then
yeah, give us one on a Dynamite or one on a Rampage, and take it easy, and don't do a
right.
7-woman fucking gaggle fuck every
Right.
time.
Don't do 7 women storylines, or try to
Yeah,
do 7 women storylines. That's
yeah,
the
stop.
thing.
The sheer numbers of then that's why I'm excited that they're getting rid of some of the factions, because it's like, okay, I mean, you might go to just telling individual stories about people we don't care about, especially with the Dark Order, but yeah, I don't know. That's it'll clean it up a little bit. At least maybe we won't have as many 10-man fucking matches anymore. The one of the lowlights was, in fact, and you wanted to talk about Saraya coming back into the ring against Britt Baker, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. It was kind of bad.
What happened?
And
I know nothing about this.
it just wasn't good.
She's
just
rusty,
wasn't.
dude. She's rusty.
It's very rusty, and also they go right after her actually broken neck right off the bat, and it just sort of makes the match weird. And
Who
there's
was
a
it?
lot
Britt
of
Baker?
Britt Baker, yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know. Sarai's boobs are way bigger too, so she just is just a different looking person in there. Looks like kind of like China. And she's got to learn how to move with those things, man. And I don't think she's.
Can we be honest about her? Okay, so I'm gonna call her Paige for this. When
Mhm.
Paige first showed up, she had some wrestling ability and the will to actually do it like the men. That was for a rookie. You were going, oh, this could be the future. This could be the future Trish Stratus, Mickey James, blah blah blah. So you gave her leeway. Her skill set and her move set weren't polished to the degree in which people clamor for her. I mean, her skill set and move set wasn't Charlotte. It wasn't even Sasha. It wasn't even Becky. But you liked her enough to sit there and kind of look past it. Then you get Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, Bailey, and they're good. They're damn good. And their skill set is way better.
Well, I mean, is that the problem? Is that Paige was something in the middle of the Divas that was different?
She was different, and therefore we were like, hey. But then when we saw the rest of the actual team show up, you're like, oh, okay, that person is a second string. Like,
Yeah.
You walked in the game at halftime and saw her score like 5 buckets in a row, and you're like, hey, who's this? And then they, third quarter comes in, the whole starting 5 comes up, and you're like, oh, who gives a shit? So that's what happened. Then she gets hurt. Then she has her extracurricular.
Well, she came up.
activities.
Yeah, she got called up and she got the title, and that was a fun surprise. She beat Charlotte and had that moment right after
not Charlotte.
WrestleMania, right?
Not
Not
Charlotte.
Charlotte?
Not Charlotte.
Oh,
She beat
Sasha?
AJ.
She beat CM Punk's wife.
She beat AJ.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
That was but that was Charlotte at the time. That's right. She was before Charlotte getting called up.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Sorry.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, we all got a glimpse of something, and we were like, hey. And
Yeah,
then
and she moved differently. She was a lot more. I mean, she's definitely not as mobile, and I'm not kidding. She, has changed. So
Well, that's what I'm saying.
she's
That's
just
rust.
physically.
It's been
There's
what,
rust
5
and
years?
everything. Yeah, 5 years.
Sasha put her on the bench about 5 years ago, right? So
Yeah,
you have done nothing but been an actual face in
Right.
wrestling, and you get in the ring, and the
Yeah.
first thing it just looks like you're rusty. So
yeah,
the build up to this match was like, hey, Dr. Britt Baker did all she could to make this look good, but
yeah.
This
It was also
wasn't-
weird psychology for sure because it was like they didn't know who to root for because they kind of like Britt Baker was. It's like the promo she did squashed Soraya so bad that it almost changed the psychology of the alignment. Like it almost made Soraya look like the outsider, coming in almost NWO like
Right.
to your AEW and invading it. So then your intrepid heel almost turns babyface. So the psychology was really weird. There was no reactions. And then the match is just bad on its own. And it's just, Britt Baker was just trying. But yeah, it's a lot of money for Soraya too. And it's like, holy shit. So you got kind of like almost a female, not the same level of crazy, but Ultimate Warrior kind of sitch, I think. Or I don't know, a Sid, something. I don't know, something that's only good for, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2. And then that's it. But you spend a lot of money. It's crazy.
Yeah, but even with the Sid, Sid had a look that made you forget that he couldn't really wrestle. Like every time you saw
Yeah,
Sid, he was
she kind of
imposing.
does
Yeah.
too. She
Well,
kinda
that's the
does too,
thing. You kind
but
of
different
got
way.
used to her look. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got used to her look, and now you're like, okay, wrestle.
Yeah.
We already know how you look. Wrestle.
And that wasn't the most ridiculous thing. They started off the pay-per-view. We do need to briefly go over the Jungle Boy's elbow drop that almost killed him. It's like he, he was apparently totally fine. But it was a table that barely broke or whatever, it didn't really break, and he landed mostly elbow on Luchasaurus from fucking looks like 20 feet up in the air. I'm sure it was something like 12, 15 or something, but pretty high in the air and a kind of elongated looking cage. This match this thing hasn't gone viral or anything. They'll probably throw it in packages to come, but this rivalry has been really weird, and he just kind of did a Foley-esque, another Foley wannabe cage match, it was really, this is the Foley effect on full display, and it doesn't matter. It like doesn't do anything for Jungle Boy, and it basically just risks serious injury. And for kind of a mediocre highlight nowadays. And that's
Mhm.
just telling you where we are as a business.
Right. And that's
It-
Full Gear, everybody. Let's get to the important.
well, there's MJF. MJF won.
Oh, okay.
MJF, but the match wasn't that great.
That's why we're
But
skipping
MJF won. So I just wanted to throw that.
So my question to that would be: was the original plan, you think, then for MJF to take that belt off Punk?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
money. That
Yeah.
was the money. That was going to
Yeah.
put butts in seats because the promos between those two would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have
And with
complimented each other.
with Moxley, it was like he had poo-poo, I'm putting somebody over face, and was wrestling like a guy who was obviously putting a guy over. And you could like feel the bullshit in the way he was working. It's just, it happens with some guys. Like when, especially top guys, when they're going, fucking Shawn Michaels, would get poo-poo, I'm putting somebody over face, and work a certain way, or rib them in the middle of the match or whatever. And it was almost like that's what Moxley was doing, which is just weird for him. But
or do what he did to Hogan and completely oversold everything.
Yeah, that's a different
match.
way of going with it. Yeah, it's like, I'll give you what you want. I'll give you what I'll sell for you, baby. Anyhow, so yeah, Survivor Series.
All right, so Grant, we talked about this off air, but did you remember it was Survivor Series? I know I didn't.
No, it was War Games to me.
It was War Games. Yeah.
Yeah, the branding was a little homogenous, or something.
Because I mean, like, now where do we go from here? Does it keep up like this? Is next year going to be War Games? Is it going to be back to Survivor Series?
Hopefully,
Well,
it just stays like this forever.
But see, the old way of doing War Games, you could do a War Games in any pay-per-view. War Games used to be at the Great American Bash. It used to be, it could be at any pay-per-view. It was its own type of match. It wasn't,
right.
It wasn't its own pay-per-view.
That's why I don't mind them moving it around, because I don't want, now that we know Hell in a Cell is gone, I don't want there to be another Hell in a Cell-esque show where, like, oh no, we know that these people are going to have to fight in a cage and blah, blah, blah. Like, War Games can happen at any time.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And that's fine. But the way they branded it, you would think the whole damn pay-per-view was called War Games.
Yeah. I mean, I barely heard Survivor Series.
Did you even see it? I guess it was on the LED ticker.
Well, on the LED, yeah.
Yeah, it was on the LED ticker. But other than that, I was just like, Jesus, this does not feel like a Survivor Series. Number one is after Thanksgiving, but it's like, okay.
I'll say an overall note on the show. I felt like the whole thing was a little loosey-goosey, a little sloppy, up and down, pretty much the whole time.
Okay, so thank you. All right, saying it was sloppy. Here we go. You know what was sloppy? Because I felt the same way. Like, I was watching it, and I'm like, tighten the screws here a little bit, guys. What's going on? Like, it almost felt like dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
The women did a lot.
The women, good Lord.
Which,
And-
before we get to that, I would want to say, before we get into the first match,
Yeah.
my favorite part of the pre-show was the King going, Paul Heyman doesn't want to lose. He hates losing so much, he won't even lose weight.
God, Jerry. I mean,
So, yeah, sorry, we can get to the women now.
I want a book. I want a book of just his like one-liners.
I know, right?
So, oh my God.
They start with the women, and we all know it's Becky, right? So, because of what did she show back up on SmackDown?
She showed up on SmackDown.
Okay, so we know it's Becky, and they start with the women, and I'm thinking, okay, so Becky's going to be the last one in, obviously, yada yada yada. But how can I put this? You clearly did not go over a match with these girls.
No.
You basically sat there and said, we'll give you a bunch of props and go to town. We'll distract the crowd with props. Anytime a person comes into a War Games or a steel cage match, and the first thing they do is start looking under the ring to throw stuff into the ring, I go, okay,
Yeah.
they have nothing. They have,
and that's a
nothing.
fullification as well of the match.
Yeah,
because it just kind of started with him and them, and and a little bit, and
it's like 12. It's 12 kendo sticks.
Yeah, it went. Yeah,
why do you have that many under the ring, and then no one has a steel garbage can anymore? Like even Oscar the Grouch has moved into a different type of domicile. So like,
right.
what?
And I forgot one of my I don't know why, but it's in a very dangerous spot, but it's one of my all-time favorite visuals, maybe because it's just like confusing. Do I like it? Do I not? But when Iro Sky in a War Games match turned into Oscar the Grouch and turned herself into a flying trash missile.
Yeah.
Remember that shit? So I think they talked to her because it really was a very dangerous spot. Like if she somehow came down on her head, that could have been really bad.
Right.
Because she has like nothing to really protect her head.
Oh, you mean kind of like when she tried the same move twice and fell off twice?
Yeah, well, that was weird. Yeah, she screwed up. There was a lot of like botches, just period, all over this match.
I thought Bailey was dead. Whatever that power bomb / it looked like it was supposed to be a power bomb from Bianca that Bailey was going to turn into like a Frankensteiner type of deal, but never got all the way around. And when she didn't get all the way around, she just lands directly on her head and neck. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, there was a lot in this. Like every person in there knows what they're doing, and I would trust. And for some reason, nobody, even Bianca, looked bad, man. There were some times where she messed up, and I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It got to the point where I was just like, they're letting it get in their head now. That's how bad it got. I was like, okay, they know they've done a couple of things, and now they're letting it get into their head because the crowd was starting to let them know too. And so that's why Mia Yim comes in and just starts throwing garbage cans in.
Oh, yeah, she brought him back up because they were starting to boo after the EO thing. There was another boo after something, and then Mia just came in and just laid everybody out.
Yeah. So
and Mia's still somebody technically they don't really know.
Oh no, because only the NXT people know who she is, because the last time the main roster saw her, it was what? What's that damn group?
I mean, it was a couple years ago. It was like that not Retribution. What was the name of that?
Was it Retribution? I think so.
Ali's thing with
and
with Dijakovic or however you say his name.
Dijakovic.
Yeah, I can never say it.
And then her mask falls off. and that was like the last time you saw her. Like her mask came off, and everybody was like, "Oh, that looked like Mia Yim." Like you already knew it was Mia Yim. But either way it go, here's the deal. Did you see? This is my point on this whole match, and then we can, I guess, get to the men. Did you see Bianca's leg fold?
No, when you texted me that, I don't remember seeing it.
Okay, it happened. It happened when EO jumped off the cage and landed on, who was it? Bianca and somebody else. When they caught her, and you can't really tell in the slow mo because they do have a different camera. So I just kept rewinding and watching it. When they caught her, Bianca's right leg goes outward. So when she falls, her leg is like, it's literally to the side of her. And so if you watch it, she's rolling on the floor in pain. And everybody's like, oh, she's selling something. She is rolling on the floor, grabbing her knee. The ref is like in her face, and she's screaming bloody murder because she literally lands with that leg out. And I was like, oh, like MCL, like, what did she pop? And so you can see her kind of, even at the end when it's all over, it's giving out on her. She can't walk on it. And so look to see something happen there.
Are you sure you're just not getting worked because there's no reports of an injury? And I mean, maybe she just did such a convincing job and you care so much.
Nah, man.
That you saw different. All this.
Yeah, I mean, but
I don't know, Grant. It sounds like you got worked.
Well, no, because the move, if you're selling it upper body. There's no reason to sell the leg. The move was to the upper body. So it's
could have been a tweak.
That's what I'm saying. I think it was.
And there was nothing else earlier that could have told the story of the leg being hurt.
No. I just think that's how she landed, and it just was unfortunate. Because
I mean, I was staring at EO. I guess I missed it completely.
Yeah, you gotta go back. You gotta go back and just like completely just watch her, and then you'll see the ref, and he's talking, like he grabs his little mic, to turn his mic on, and he's talking to somebody back there. So
I see.
Yeah,
maybe they were just asking.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, didn't notice that. I know CBS gave this fucking match an A-. It was not a fucking A-. This was like a C at best. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, the ending had fireworks.
Compared to the men and everything, watching the men, like you could tell there was an actual story.
Yeah,
like I had something going into the men, and the women, it was just seemed like, oh, they're kind of mad at each other, and there's the good guys and the bad guys.
It was a bad clusterfuck. Like even my daughter, who doesn't watch it on a regular basis, it's way too much going on the one side. She goes, why don't some of them just go over into the other ring?
It's just a hard match to handle. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was clutter. It was just complete clutter.
And I hate that they weren't using any of the old War Games footage. Like in any of their packages, it's all like, as far as we know,
it's all NXT stuff.
It's all NXT. This started in NXT. And I mean, later on we see KO come out in a Dusty shirt, and you're like, okay, well, I don't even know if Vince would have allowed that. I'm not even sure this match would have happened like this on Survivor Series with Vince. So it definitely had a lot of, like, this had nothing but NXT people in it, pretty much this whole match right here.
Right.
It's the NXT women. And, it was all right. It was just a mess. And it wasn't an A- CBS. So,
yeah,
I don't know. They were being very kind. But Becky Lynch basically like sat on the two girls and killed them from the cage for her double leg drop. It was a double ass drop.
Becky Lynch did the spot that she needed to do to break that table.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been a Eddie Guerrero type dive. It had to be something that brought all the weight down to possibly break that table. So
it was a massive leg drop. But definitely Kai and Sky got beat the fuck up in this match.
So,
did they?
Well,
I mean, good.
The one thing I want to bring up is, why did it take, like, here's something I'm talking about like all these people that were watching. I know they know what they're doing, but why did it take Nikki Cross 10 minutes to get handcuffs on Alexa, and then Alexa dropped herself into a trash can?
Yeah, I don't think she realized how far that trash can was, because I knew what she was going for, but when it happened, even Corey Graves was like, "Yeah, Alexa got majority of that one." I went, "Yeah, I don't." The other thing is, how did Alexa Bliss get out the handcuffs?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I'm just saying.
Podcast over. I can't even think right now. I didn't even think about that at all.
I don't fucking know. All right.
She's there at the
All
end
right.
with her hands raised with the other
I
women.
guess. Well, she has magic fucking powers, dude. She's got magic fucking powers. So anyway, that match was meh. The next one was AJ Styles against Finn Balor. It was a good match for what it was, but yep.
Yeah,
It was fine.
It was an okay match to keep people interested.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones that, like, and even myself, the build up is bigger than, like, it's the same as when you get Shinsuke versus AJ at WrestleMania and you go, this will end everybody, and then you see it and you're kind of like,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
did pick up at the end.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was straight up good. It's just the way they fought off Dominic and them, that was sloppy. And that was one of the other, there was a sloppy thing in like every fucking match. And it just kind of like was just, that's why I'm saying this was a sloppy Survivor Series for the most part. And then the next match, of course, had some slop. Why? How could it not? It was Ronda Rousey against Shotzi. They don't call her Shotzi Blackheart.
Remember
anymore.
when I said
Shotzi.
remember when I said you want to talk sloppy? This was the sloppiest thing I've ever. Yeah, this was the sloppiest.
Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe. Yeah,
this is the sloppiest match on the card.
Yeah, this one, like they go from when she gets that lucky punch, it's like the one for the ages against Ronda, and then the next thing she does is like jump off the side and hurt herself. Like, I don't even know what happened.
Some shit. I don't know either, but I do like I like her arm, her like hip toss arm thing when she does it off the rope, the corner post. Ronda, that is. I think she's got that move. Finally, people are understanding how to take that move because it has been on the takeys for why that's looked kind of sloppy because they haven't gotten all the way over because they're not getting. She's not stiffing it on them, but if she stiffed it on them, she'd flip you all the way over.
And
so anyway,
possibly hurt you. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you get your arm down, you should be all right on that kind of a throw. I mean, it's dudes do that throw, little guys. But anyway, Piper's Pit, that Piper's Pit move just is ridiculous. Like the way she flings you, it just looks so sloppy. And it's like a terrible, it's like a fucked up F5 or something, but you're not even, it's like you're playing the video game and you have to push the button twice to do the F5, right? And you just push it way too fast. And then you get this like boom off the it's like she hits her hip off the mat every time, and it's like, geez. Anyway, it was sloppy.
You know what it is, and I'll tell you, it's being in the ring with somebody who can't lead you, because clearly Ronda needs work. So she gets in the ring with Shotzi? Like, you can't even talk in the corner, or what do we do now? Shotzi's not gonna know.
Right.
So you got two people just fumbling around trying to figure something that would stick, and then it's like, oh, good Lord. Okay. So, yeah, the way that wrapped up, that's the best thing for it, and get it off the card.
Yeah. So it wasn't too long, and I actually do think Ronda's getting technically a little better, and I think that the character's better right now. So
I can say, too, I'm happy that Shayna is involved with her now.
Oh yeah, she's like her heavy. It works. Like this storyline wasn't that bad, and I mean they can keep going with Shotzi or whatever. But yeah, they gotta. I don't know. Give Shotzi a little more, maybe.
Yeah, I just think the Shotzi thing was just okay. If you want to continue that program, whatever. But it's just completely, it's worthless. So I mean, I didn't even expect Ronda to be on this damn pay-per-view, but whatever.
Yes. Next is what I really wanted to get to. One of the highlights of the show. Still a little bit of slop, but not as much. Maybe the result of the night, although I didn't think it was as shocking as the audience in house did. It's Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory. Seth Rollins is the U.S. champion. This is a 3-way triple threat match with triple threat rules. One elimination for the U.S. title. And the match was predictably, interesting. Theory actually even took over a little bit in the beginning. You can see he does the kind of frothing up at the mouth, over the top kind of heel thing sometimes now. He looks a lot stronger than he has in recent weeks. And the match just had a pretty interesting finish where how did it go? I don't know, but it had a fucking a pretty couple
go
of
ahead.
the super stomp by Rollins was amazing, where he jumped off Austin Theory and did the curb stomp to Bobby Lashley. That spot was
Yeah, I think that should have been played up more, man. When I saw him eyeing it up, I got really excited, and then what happened? It was kind of like, that's it.
pretty exciting.
Well,
So,
it was exciting, but I just thought like there should have been more of an impact on it because it's something we haven't seen before. I don't think.
yeah, no, I think it was new. It was new move. So, but the ending had well, somebody was Austin Theory was doing a superplex or something, and on Lashley or something. Anyway, he pins did something fancy.
Well, like he had Seth had him up, and then Lashley speared him, and then Austin
Yes.
Theory took the credit for it.
Yeah, so it was the Falcon Arrow spot with the superplex, which some people don't like. I don't mind, I guess. But as he's getting him up for the Falcon Arrow, then Rollins gets speared, and Theory kind of falls on top. There's some collisions in there. It's a pretty rough, tough, snug match. I feel like they all kind of came out a little beat up. The stuff they did on the outside looked pretty rough, and then they brought it back in. That's how you do outside stuff. It's really overdone in AEW, and like it's the big scary guys usually doing it in WWE, and it like means more. Plus those steel steps are real. Like that's really made of metal. And I don't know. You got to be careful with that shit. But anyway, yeah, Austin Theory won, and it was a pretty surprising, cool moment, and now he's back to being booked strong. So there you go.
I mean, we'll see how that goes though, because it depends on if they move forward with Lashley or not.
Right. And then we get to the absolute gem of the evening. Although I did like that triple threat match. It's the Bloodline against the team Brawling Brutes. This is the official team name.
Yeah, I hate the team. I hate the team. But
I don't hate.
But they let Pete Dunne have his hair back, man.
yeah, they let Pete. He did just. I mean, he could have kept the other clothes though. I don't like his little wrestling attire. I don't know why. I just.
At least he looks way smaller in there when he's with Ridge Holland and Sheamus and McIntyre. He looks so small compared to these guys.
Yeah.
But he is the little pit bull that, or French bulldog or whatever that, wants to beat your ass, whatever. Well, what did you think? I thought it was
overall, it was the best storyline in on the night as far as storytelling inside the ring.
Yeah.
Yes.
The best storytelling of the night. Like I could follow this without having to see the packages. Now,
no, and I mean with everything, with the Sammy stuff, with KO stuff, like and even the Sheamus and like McIntyre stuff, because you forget that like McIntyre has something to do with that title picture,
right? And then I give credit to Corey Graves and Michael Cole. This is where, if they do their job right, they help this story progress and they help the telling of this story. Because quite frankly, every time Jay and Sammy got into it, you heard them say something like they need to get on the same page and blah 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 blah. And it really helped build the fact that Jay wasn't trying to hear nothing from Sammy.
Right. I'm gonna thank Michael Cole too for absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Here we go.
But anyway, I understand what you mean.
Yeah, they could have messed that up, and they didn't. Is what I'm getting.
And then you don't need to know the entire history between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. You just got to know that they were friends, because they've been friends, enemies, friends, enemies. You can sell it. You can sell them as friends or foes at any time. So, I just think that,
like the ending of that match really showed. Like once again, like I'm always gonna stick up for him, but why isn't KO like just doing more? Like He was so
Yeah.
believable with Roman. Like Roman came in and cleaned house, right? And then once KO changed it and flipped the script on him, like I was into just the KO Roman match. There was nobody else in that match for me, and I thought that KO was going to do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
KO was looking good. And it was good. It showed you that he could actually probably spiral out of this into a solo bid against him. Even be like the Royal Rumble defense, you know. Anything. Even if he loses, which Kevin Owens has lost in January a lot. Uh and then but then maybe he's gotten the title also in January too. I don't know. But they definitely treat him as a transitional champ or something to that effect sometimes. So, who knows? But
And
I thought the match was mostly good, but
Drew McIntyre to me, here's the deal. The people want Drew somewhere around the title. The problem is how they've booked Drew. They don't think he can do it, but they think he deserves to be somewhere around the title. When he came in, it was amazing. Like everything he did looked good, and when it was the face off between him and Roman, looked good. It's like everything. I think a lot of people still remember Cardiff. Like that should have happened. He should have won that.
yeah.
And I think
that
that's what
was-
it is.
Yeah, and that was the most recent event that people cared about. Probably
Right.
still.
Right.
was
I think
the-
that's what it is. I think people remember Cardiff and was like, God dang, you should have. That was the time.
It's like you should have won in Cardiff.
That
know,
was
or
the
whatever,
that
yeah.
was the time. So I mean, they're still hot for him, and I know they're trying to cool him off to possibly push KO and others, but I don't know if you can cool him off. I think the people are, if it happens, they're not going to be upset with it being him. If it's him, I don't think it's going to be him. But I'm just saying, like the folk, you could tell that crowd, they were like, "Yeah, I'm here for this. Yeah, I'm here for KO too, but I'm here for this." But everybody in that building was there for Sami Zayn. Like,
Well,
at the
oh
end.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that if you talk about what should happen, Sammy should be the champion of the world and the universe and everything else right now because he is the most popular personality
He
in
can
that
do
whole
no wrong.
group.
He can
No.
do no wrong.
Like,
And like they even put him in a position not to fail because if he turned on Roman, he would have been cheered. And then if he didn't and he turned on KO, he would have been cheered. It doesn't matter which way he went.
Yep.
Yep.
It's
I have an
perfect
idea.
spot to be in.
I have an idea, and this is the best idea I've ever had in my life. I think that Sami Zayn, let's say that The Rock is not going to have this match with Roman Reigns. Let's say that that's off at WrestleMania.
Okay.
I say you build all the way to Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns, and you put Sami Zayn over at WrestleMania.
Oh, I've had that idea, and I think that'll work. It'll work for an audience of 3, and I think it's the 3 people talking right now.
No,
I think it'll work
sell.
for a larger audience, but here's how you do
It's-
it.
It's your next Yeselmania. It's your next Yeselmania.
Yeah.
Telling you.
Here's how you do it. Oh, when's Money in the Bank? Afterwards, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was about to say, here's how you do it. You make Sammy win Money in the Bank. And then, so Roman would have to keep it through WrestleMania. You make Sammy
Oh my
win Money in
God.
the Bank. And then Roman doesn't
Well,
see it coming. He doesn't see it coming. And
Well, isn't that what
Sammy-
people wanted before? Like, because Sammy was in the match last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, I just think that's what they should have done instead of Austin.
Yeah, because
Theory.
well, his story though, what was it? It was like he was making sure, like he wanted to win the briefcase so that nobody else could use it.
Right, but then he could use it. You know. But
Oh,
that's
I would love it if he cashed in on him. It'd be great.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you do it right, you could have Sammy win this belt and people cheer, and the way he wins this belt, it'll be amazing because it'll be him being an Uso and feeling Uso and all this other great stuff. And Roman's defending his title, and the Usos are out there, and they're all helping Roman try to win. And then all of a sudden, Sammy cashes that damn Money in the Bank in. No one will see it coming. Everyone will love it. Everyone will freaking love it. And you have Sami Zayn just looking at him like, what, hey, guys, sorry.
Oh, and then And then you have him play almost the coward of like, well, I'm too good. Obviously, I've already beat him once, so I'm the head of the table. But never face him again.
Oh
Wow.
my god! If he never faces him again, that'll be amazing. Because can you imagine, like, afterwards, SmackDown, whatever, they're like, Sammy, why did you do it? Well, I just wanted to make sure that the belt stayed in the bloodline. Like, it looked like he was going to lose, so I did what I needed to do to protect the belt and the bloodline. Like, can you imagine him like keeping this whole "I'm still a member of the bloodline" clearly after stabbing Roman in the back?
Oh yeah, and just not understanding that, like, well, there's like 4 Samoans and you. Like, what do you think is going on here?
Right. And then you know what happens?
Mm.
Crow Brock Lesnar comes back.
Now I remember why we were off the air
Can
for
we
4 weeks.
wrap this up?
Yeah, I remember.
Crow Brock comes back.
I-
He's Crow Brock.
He has reminded me why we have been gone for so long. It's this goddamn.
He already came
Crow.
back. They screwed up. They need to kill him off in a different way this next time, and then they can do Crow Brock.
Okay, Grant. How can I put this?
Just say it.
We have to find out what drugs Julian is on. Like,
Wow.
we have to.
We gotta get his wife on the podcast.
Yeah, because it's some powerful shit. Like, he really wants this Crow Brock. Like, I see him actually tweeting Hunter in his DMs going, "Get this, Crow Brock Lesnar."
That's it. Yeah. No, it's Crow Brock. 2 words. Even
Crow
more
Brock.
marketable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got action figures, you got shirts, you got mugs, you got Halloween costumes.
Okay. So because I just can't go down that wormhole. To wrap this episode up, look,
I believe deeply in crowifying some character in the future, whoever it is, just for the nostalgia.
Yeah, that's what I believe too. Yeah, Crow me a yim.
Exactly.
God damn it.
Crow Asuka. That's real.
Wait. Crow Asuka
Asuka's
could
already
work.
halfway there.
Yeah, Crow Asuka could work. Like,
Crow.
if she gets tired of the happy-go-lucky stereotypical thing that they're doing with her, and she just snaps one day
and goes monochromatic.
Yeah, and then her mask becomes the crow thing, and she starts wearing like all black. That actually could work. God damn it!
I'm telling you, I just believe in crowifying someone at some point.
Crow Oscar. Now I'm gonna be in Hunter's DMs.
Hear me out. Crow Oscar.
Crow.
I'm gonna do. I don't know why I needed to sound like Triple H. To Triple H for my pitch, but
because she's already the Great Muta. Oh, which was a good spot with her and Rhea. She got the mist. Rhea sold the mist. That was a good spot, and the DDT was amazing. So,
yes, the DDT was great. That was the bump of the night as far as and you could tell though that the War Games matches were kind of sanitized. They don't do blood, and that's kind of a thing in the War Games matches. I also just wish they would have showed some old shit. It even showed Sid doing the fucked up power bomb.
Yeah, bouncing whatchamacallit's head off the top of the cage. Yeah.
I just feel like the packages were just kind of lame. It was rinse and repeat. I think they repeat too many things in WWE right now, and they don't go far back enough in their archive. They used to in that,
if they wanted to be authentic, the top of the cage would have been at like 10 to 11 feet,
which is a little too small.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's too small to do majority of the things that they were doing. They would have actually had a roof on the cage. But I hope you guys enjoyed our first one back. I mean, we tried to go through a lot and give you a lot. And we'll try to do this on a regular basis again. Our schedules permitting. I mean, it's holiday time, so hopefully everybody's schedules will lighten up a little bit, and we could do a little bit more. So, Grant, tell them what to do.
Oh, I mean, if we decide in a couple months to come back, you better come back.
Yeah, you know what? That's a long time.
Okay, we'll come back sooner. Okay, so it's all right. We'll
I'm
come
just
back
speaking for
sooner.
the fans,
Okay. And what do you call our fans again?
the Bird Knights.
The Bird Knights.
God damn it! I was hoping he forgot. Yes. Well, stay tuned. We're the Fabulous Threebirds, and we'll see you sometime.